5 minutes after 8 o'clock. For the people pulling out their hair, having strokes, heart attacks, have nothing better to do, and to think the sky is falling because a morning show starts a few minutes late. Well, I got you. I'll catch a sky for you. Welcome to Island Tea. And hey,
what's happening?
I'm good.
Okay. What's in your cup this morning?
I got coffee.
Okay, I actually had some of my favorite vanilla chai tea. I was thinking to walk with something extra, but then I have to do a few runs after this, and I'd be like, I don't want a cup in my hand.
Vanilla chai.
Yeah, so I just have my vitamin C, which I will be done with before I leave the studio, so I don't have to walk around with a bottle around town as I do my errands this morning. Good morning to the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Good morning to the regional and international diaspora.
And Jay Black is off today, so.
Oh, Jay, feel better. Good morning, Mario. I know Mario's always tuned in over there in Nevis. Good morning, Let and Kevin Dorr in Nevis. Good morning to all my Nevis family. Thanks for tuning in.
So we got Pretty in Pink and the Invisible Man.
Yeah, actually, the last Tuesday for breast cancer. Yeah. And did you know that there's a World Breast Cancer Day, though?
Yeah.
Are you aware of that? I just learned that last night. Actually, it's on the 4th of February. And this year's slogan was, Together we are stronger than cancer. Together we can, I can, unite for World Cancer Day. I didn't know that.
But I didn't realize it was February, though.
Yeah, February the 4th.
So why is it like that?
I guess maybe they spread it out. Because remember, October is breast cancer month. And I only learned last night that this thing only got so big, the breast cancer, because I think it's Jimmy Carter's wife. She actually had breast cancer, and I guess I read an article that says because she had the cancer and her husband was in government at that time, that's where
things
awareness,
got done.
Got done.
Isn't that always the way?
Oh boy. Well, I'm glad that she was in there at that time. And then the next thing I found out too, the pink ribbon for breast cancer wasn't always pink, it was peach. But then Estee Lauder and this magazine, oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of the magazine. Let me see if I can pull it up.
It's like Vogue or one of those people?
Oh, no, it's not. Who? What's the president I said it was?
Carter.
No, it's Betty Ford. Sorry. I humbly apologize.
Ford.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in 1985, that's when October became the National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And as I said, Betty Ford being the first lady, she brought more attention to the disease. And they said Charlotte Haley came up with the idea of the ribbon for her mom, her sister, and her grandmom, which each suffer with breast cancer. And then it was Elite magazine and Estee Lauder that started the pink ribbon trend. Yeah, and they said breast cancer, at least 1 in 8 women, and we know the doctor had said that, will have breast cancer. And then the article also mentioned that breast cancer for men is also on the rise.
It's on the rise?
Yeah. Wow.
Can't catch a break, huh?
No, not at all. And just to remind folks, the importance of Cancer Awareness Month encourages the public to get cancer screenings, which increase the likelihood of an early diagnosis, catching the disease in its early stages. That may result in more effective treatment because the cancer will not have much time to grow and spread. And it could also help, as the doctor would have discussed, our ethnicity is more marginalized. So it reminds us that once it's caught early, it could help reduce the health inequalities and improve cancer outcome.
Yes, and especially you just alluded to the fact that, especially when we live in those bigger countries, where we may not be as economically advantaged as the majority populations, we tend not to have the wherewithal to seek medical attention, especially for like routine checks and so on.
You're correct.
So yeah, that's a problem, and it's doubly bad, as you know, that these cancers affect black women and black people much more aggressively, and more aggressively. They
I wonder why though. I wonder why, because almost everything, fibroids, diabetes, almost everything affect our side, our ethnicity more than everybody else's.
Well, I think what I heard with the breast cancer is that it's probably the doctor will correct me on this, but they said what happened is when black women get it, it's just more aggressive.
Yeah.
So the incidence might be about the same, but it's just more aggressive when black women get it.
And it hurts to see, though, that once you have it and once you think that it's cured, when it comes back like a beast.
Yeah.
Like it comes to say, let's go, come. You're wasting my time. I'm like, I don't understand how this thing can go in remission and then pops up. Wow. And it also says for World Cancer Day, it highlights success stories, the life saves and the breakthroughs that have improved the quality of life for patients worldwide. And the common goal of a cancer-free future for Cancer Month, which as you mentioned is in February, they normally wear a lavender ribbon.
Lavender. That's like is that a pinkish color? Like
Pinkish
pink
purplish.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Because even with the pink ribbon, if you realize it does still have hues of the peach color that the ribbon was initially. But for those survivors here in the Federation, we applaud you. We see you. Keep doing what you're doing to keep being healthy and continue to fight this disease. And we earnestly pray that it does not come back to those of you who would have fought it and won the battle. And for those who have not yet taken the mammogram, as the doctor says, just a few moments of discomfort, but at least you can live at peace knowing that you don't have it. And if you do have it, it can be caught early and treated with the best treatment. And you can get over that hurdle as soon as possible. But Jamsa, what do you say for the men, though?
I'm not really worried too much about it. It's not, the incidence is pretty low. So
pretty low?
I'm not really.
And I know gentlemen don't like to go to see the doctor, you know.
Yeah, but when it comes to breast cancer,
I wish people could see your face.
Breast cancer, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I'm not really going to lose a lot of sleep over that.
You're not going to, okay.
And I don't think men out there should be, worried.
Losing sleep either?
Yeah. I think sometimes we engage in this kind of tyranny of the minority, meaning sometimes we let things that are unlikely to affect us, like extremely unlikely, to take over the narrative. I think the attention needs to stay on women. Yeah, we mentioned that men can get it, but I don't feel like. But
then the awareness is good, because they say
no. But that's what I'm saying. We have awareness. Yeah, men can get it. 1 in a zillion. Okay, we get that.
It just sounds like because you gentlemen don't have breasts, it's not. Oh boy.
No, I mean, I feel like the attention should be kept on
the ladies.
On the ladies, yes.
Okay, so we don't
because we love the ladies.
Oh boy. See how he turns it? He just turns it into a whole thing. Oh my gosh. Well,
gotta make sure the ladies healthy.
Yeah, indeed, because we know the ladies are there to take care of the gentlemen, but we still want the gentlemen to go to the doctor and get themselves checked and make sure that they're good, because we know the gentlemen don't normally get breast cancer, but we know you guys are in the prostate region, and again, it's our black brothers with the prostate cancer.
Or maybe Jay Black is coming now with breast cancer.
Oh my God!
Jay, what's up? Just playing.
Oh my God!
I'm just playing.
To get you.
Yeah. Drink some moringa. You'll be good.
Oh my God! He's going to get you. Oh gosh! Oh gosh!
I kid.
Oh my gosh!
So someone sent me this article last night. You remember a few months ago I talked about these two sisters from the U.S. who I sent it in the chat. The sisters who figure out this Pythagorean theorem, which was thought to be impossible or unsolvable, and they solved it. But apparently, they came up with some more solutions to the same problem. So in a new peer-reviewed study, Nikia Jackson and Calcia Johnson outlined 10 ways to solve the Pythagorean theorem using trigonometry, including a proof they discovered in high school. So so these girls aren't no flukes when it comes to um, the math heavy lifting.
Yep.
Um, while still in high school, Nakia and Calcia from Louisiana used trigonometry to prove the 2,000-year-old Pythagorean theorem, which states that the sum of the square of a right triangle, my brain is hurting, two shorter sides are equal to the square of the triangle's longest side. The hypotenuse, I remember all that stuff. But mathematicians had long thought that using trigonometry to prove the theorem was unworkable, given that the fundamental formulas for trigonometry are based on the assumption that the theorem is true. Jackson and Johnson came up with their impossible proof in answer to a bonus question in a school math contest. They presented their work at an American Mathematical Society meeting in 2023, but the proof hadn't been thoroughly scrutinized at that point. Now, a new paper published Monday, October 28th, in the Journal of American Mathematical Monthly shows their solution held up to peer review. Not only that, but the two students also outlined 9 more proofs to the Pythagorean theorem using trigonometry. And I wanted to draw attention to this because yesterday, CXC, there was a story on WinFM's news about, CXC they were discussing the advent of AI and how they were going to incorporate it into the CXC syllabus and the education going forward, and I guess possibly having students in the Caribbean being involved in the development of AI, and they were also bemoaning the fact that math scores in the Caribbean aren't what they should be, Yep. So I wanted to draw attention to this to show that I think it's the math weakness we have in the Caribbean. I feel like it's a self reinforcing phenomenon. I feel we just come along and we say, oh, we're not good at math. Oh, my mom wasn't good at math. Or nobody does well in math, and we just throw up our hands and we don't apply ourselves. And I think this goes along with proving that we are no worse than any other racial group when it comes to math, as long as we apply ourselves. And of course, I understand. I know, obviously, I think a lot of times people are good at math, and they might think, especially in our culture, in our milieu, they might feel as though, oh, it's not cool to be good at math, so they just kind of ignore it. I know a lot of people who are really good at math, and I'm like, really? I mean, and say they love math. Mr. Stevens, oh
he's
yeah,
excellent at math.
You could tell he really has a passion for math for real. I remember he made me get licks one time in high school.
What did you do?
Because I was atrocious.
Oh boy.
Caller, go right ahead.
Good morning, sir and ma'am.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Math is not a subject that we have traditionally done badly in,
You're
in
right.
fact, quite to the contrary. So the problem is not a deficiency in the gene pool to handle math. As a matter of fact, one can make a very powerful argument, going back to history and ancient history, as to the genesis of mathematics and the gene pool connected with that genesis. But we don't have time for that. Let me say this. The introduction of the calculator, the fact that children in primary school, a lot of them have to struggle with their multiplication tables, which really are the foundation to get the numbers comfortably in your mind. Those exercises and the general approach to mathematics need to be re-examined. It's nothing to do with ability. It's just the system and the process.
Yes.
You have a calculator, I mean, you don't have to use the one between your ears.
Thank you.
If you want to render the average young person nervous and tense, give them a math question as simple as the question might be, they might panic because they're not given the comfort levels and the basics to handle math. And you will find, if you do an analysis of the countries in the world that are most successful and best governed, are the ones that do best in the STEAM subjects. And most of those countries are small countries.
Yeah.
So the only thing we have going against us is our approach to math. God, remember, math is the cornerstone of thinking and logic. It extends to everything. It's the platform. And your weakness in that, you cannot have a successful country if your people are not succeeding in math and the other STEAM subjects. And so to wrap up, it's not about ability. It's about the programs that have been and continue to be in place that really handicap us.
What could you speak to some of the programs that handicap us? Because we know math is not a particular subject that none of us gravitate to or like in school. But
No, that's not true. Math was my favorite subject in school.
Okay.
Along with recess.
I've heard him say that
I was
before.
very good at recess as well.
Yeah, I've heard him say math was his favorite subject before.
Okay.
But it was, you see, the approach, a teacher once told me, asked me, what is the easiest subject to get 100% in? And I stumbled and mumbled, and she said, stop, it's math. I said, how do you mean? She said, if you understand the concept and you apply the concept properly and you put your test paper in front of 10 teachers, all have no choice but to give you 100%. If you do the same thing with an English paper or some other subject, you might get anywhere between 80 and 90, 95, even 100, but it will not be consistent. So just understand the concepts. And I mean, and she approached math with me and my classmates in a kind of game way. It's fun. Let's problem solving. If you make problem solving fun, rather than everything a source of stress. And that's another thing, Jamsta. When I was young, the word stress was usually applied only in physics. Nowadays, I have a 3-year-old granddaughter, and I heard her say a couple of weeks ago that her sister is stressing her. And so it's important because the slightest thing stresses us now. And if we become more comfortable with mathematics, the teaching of mathematics, the rote 2 times 1 or 2, 8 times 10 or whatever. Sometimes you don't have the growth for numbers. They just come automatically from that foundation that is laid from that program. Now, I know children. I have helped children who are in the higher levels of primary school understanding basic math. I'm not blaming the teachers.
Yes.
But somebody has to take the responsibility, and the education system. And of course, a lot of our children, when they go home from school and have homework, their parents might not have the ability or the inclination to assist them, not to do the work for them, but to assist and support them.
Yeah.
Because,
so you don't have that
exactly.
Complementary system of parent and teacher working together to mold the child and to build the foundation for the child's thinking ability.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't think the problem is hard to solve. I think the problem is whether people are willing to just say, look, let's get real. Learning must be geared towards practicality, and we're not doing good in subject. I mean, what did we get? 36% pass grade in math.
And it's declining.
CARICOM was what, 35%?
Yeah, that's terrible.
It cannot be a successful region if we're not successful in mathematics. Trust me.
And STEM overall. I mean, and I always talk about STEAM. The arts
Don't
have to be in there.
arts.
I always talk about.
Do you think they have a better advantage? Do you think they have a better advantage because they are bigger and they have more resources, caller?
Bigger? But you don't need resources to learn math, sister. You don't need resources. You don't need you don't need it. You don't. What resources do you need? When people used to teach maths and comprehension under a mango tree, the results used to be better. So I don't think maths. I mean, of course, learning tools are always welcome and worthy of consideration. But look at Singapore, 1965. Singapore was a basket case when it became independent. Within 20-25 years, Singapore was one of the world's most successful and wealthy nations, besides of St. Lucia. Taiwan, similar problems, 1949. Taiwan is a third of the size of Cuba. And on and on. New Zealand, a country that is coming up very well in these subjects is Botswana, Finland, Denmark. These are small countries. And if you do an analysis of these countries, you will see that they do better in the STEAM subjects than most other countries. And additionally, they are regarded as the best governed countries on the planet, generally speaking, because of that foundation. And I think we're missing the point. If we focus on that, we'll have a more successful nation and more independent people.
Absolutely.
You're correct.
That's my 2 pence.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Yes, okay. And the 2 pence, the 2 pence was invaluable. You know what? We're going to take a quick break. It's 8:30, and I have a 60 minutes excerpt with 60 minutes interviewing those 2 girls. So we'll play a bit of that when we come back, because we can't put too fine a point on this problem.
Found the South 98.9 FM.
What gift gives you joy? The gift of home renovations. Apply for a personal loan with CIBC Caribbean and use your funds for a dream holiday, home renovations, or more, and we'll gift you no loan application fee and the chance to win one of 3 prizes in your country from our regional pot of up to US $100,000. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/joy of giving. CIBC Caribbean terms and conditions apply.
Double the cash back. Double the groceries. Double the savings. Only at Hortford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store. Happening now, when you make a higher purchase, you'll get double cash back coupons for double the free groceries. Are you serious? Shop for the furniture and appliances you need, and we'll help you fill your fridge and kitchen too.
Nah, me.
But that's not all. You'll also have a chance to win free groceries for a year or a 4-piece living room set that will transform your space into a cozy haven. Say what? Don't miss out on double the rewards and double the savings. Visit Hortford's Furniture and Appliances or Ashley Furniture Home Store today and start your journey to a better home and a fuller kitchen. Terms and conditions apply. Visit any Hortford's location for details. Double the deals, double the delight, double the cash back, double the groceries, double the savings. Only at Hortford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Stores, happening now.
Well, 8:33. I kind of misspoke. We had a little mix-up. We had a little mix-up about weekly dose. I was looking at a schedule that had the wrong time, and I was talking about something else. When I really should have been talking about the final presentation from Dr. Natalie Osborne on in our drive to create breast cancer awareness. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning. Good morning, Jamsta. Good morning, Kortensia.
Morning. How are you?
Yes, this is our last Tuesday in the month of October. And I hope we haven't wearied the audience with our talk of breast cancer, but we do know that this is extremely important, okay? And we know that learning is repetition. And so the idea is to just keep repeating and emphasizing so that we can decrease the deaths associated with breast cancer. Help women and individuals, because even men can have breast cancer, live a better and healthier life.
You were speaking about that earlier.
Yeah, the survival rate. Yeah, so we're here. We're mostly going to be here to take questions. So if the audience have any questions, anything that wasn't clear throughout the month, any concern, any cases that you would have thought about or had any family relation or anything like that. So we're here just really to take your questions and to emphasize everything we would have spoken about over the last month. And last week we had our oncologist here giving us some support, talking about chemotherapy, the risk factors associated, the treatment, some of the side effects of chemotherapy she emphasized, and why is it important to get your mammogram. I emphasize that, and I'm always going to emphasize that, Kortensia, so it's important that we get our yearly mammogram.
I mentioned it this morning. You said, although it's a tad painful, just go and get your mammogram.
I never said painful.
You didn't say a tad
painful? I said there's a little discomfort, but what is
so
it,
I used
10
the wrong
or
word
15
then. Okay.
minutes of
discomfort, guys.
Yes, for a lifetime of safety and a better outcome. So the idea of a mammogram is to flatten the breast tissue between two plates as best as it can, so that when the x-ray, because it's like an x-ray of the breast, you can see all of the areas of the breast without missing any, getting the armpit area as well, because there's breast tissue there, and you want to make sure, look for any changes. We're looking for something called microcalcification, and those are the earliest signs of breast cancer. Even before you feel a lump, Kortensia, you can see these changes. And what does that mean? If you're diagnosed, you would be diagnosed in an earlier stage, and then you can have a treatment done earlier, leading to a better outcome. We spoke also about survival rate, knowing that if you're diagnosed in stage 0, your survival rate in 5 years is 99%. And it starts dropping off as you're diagnosed in a later stage. We talk about the different stages: stage 0, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. And we know that stage 4 is the last stage where you've got Mets. Sometimes I talk about a young lady, and every time I remember her, because it was earlier in my career. This girl was 27, and just before she passed, she presented with fractures, that her bones were broken, severe pain in her hip. And what was that? Those are what we call pathological fractures, because the cancer had spread to her bone as one of the areas that it spreads so commonly. So you have the bone, the brain, the liver, and the lung. And so she came in with these fractures. You know, typically for you to have a fracture, you have to fall, get in an accident. But just like that, her bone broke because it was so weakened. Severe excruciating pain. And this young lady at age 27 lost her life. So this is what we want to avoid her seeing. She's an exception, because at 27, typically you would not have breast cancer. But we know that under the age of 45, breast cancer is most common in black women. And if you get a breast cancer younger, the outcome is usually poorer because of several things.
We were talking about that earlier.
You were talking about that? Okay, that's good. Why the outcome is typically poorer? Because you're not expecting to have breast cancer, so these persons tend to present late, and it tends to be a more aggressive form of the breast cancer. And so this is where we run into some problems.
So, folks, it's 8:38. It's the final day, for the month as far as breast cancer awareness with Weekly Dose. So this would be a good time to call if you have any questions. You don't have to be a female. You might have a loved one that you might want to ask a question about, or just general information that you can pass along to others. Because the least we can do is pass the information along. So please give us a call. Give the doctor a call at 466-0989, 662-0989, Weekly Dose. Take advantage of this final session for this month on breast cancer and breast cancer awareness.
And not only that, women do have breast cancer. We know in most cases men do. And we've had a couple cases in the Federation of Men with Breast Cancer. Though it's rare, it is often overlooked as well too. So men, it is important for you not only to support your female counterparts, your mother, your wives, your sisters, you yourself need to ensure if you present with any lump that is unusual or any changes in the texture of the skin on your breast or chest wall, you see that your nipple is pulling inwards or retracted, are inverted, and you need to present and not hide or shy away from seeing your physician to get that checked out.
Jamsta, see what I was saying this morning? Because you'd be like, oh, we love the ladies, so we're going to boof up we're going to make ladies feel good.
No.
Yeah. When you said ignore, when you said overlooked, you mean the men themselves overlook it by not going to the doctor, or just because it's a man, like it's not a big deal, it's not made like how we have this big deal for females?
Yes, we know that men develop breast cancer at a much lower rate, at least 1%, okay? Right? But typically men do not present often to their healthcare providers. Oftentimes males are a bit slow in coming in because, it doesn't seem masculine or whatever their fears are. Women tend to seek medical help much earlier, much more often. So we're hoping that a man would not be staying at home with something abnormal, strange going on with his breast tissue. Though men has much less breast tissue than women, men do have, although it's much more underdeveloped. But you don't want him to stay at home with some abnormal changes occurring in the breast tissue. Yeah?
Okay, fair enough.
So it is always important to emphasize the risk factors. And we spoke about those, Kortensia, and I know you could rattle them off the top of your head, like being a female. We know that is the strongest risk factor.
Being black.
Being above the age of 50, as you advance, you have a higher risk of developing breast cancer. So age is a risk factor. The exposure to estrogen for a longer period. That means early menarche, which is senior period, your menstrual cycle earlier, and ending it later in menopause. So those years can be quite a large number of years that you're dealing with your menstrual cycle and the high levels of estrogen. We know that being a female because of that estrogen. We know about obesity. We know about radiation exposure, persons who would have had radiation earlier in their lifetime. Family history. If your mother may have had breast cancer, you may be at higher risk.
Does it skip a generation? I've heard somebody say that. So if my mom have it, maybe I wouldn't get it, but somebody after me, that's not true,
No.
That's a myth.
That's a myth. We also spoke that breast cancer is mostly sporadic. 85% of persons who develop breast cancer maybe the first in their family line to have breast cancer. It has nothing to do with whether your mother had it or not, because even if your mother have it, someone else may develop it in your family. So that really isn't correct in saying that it skip a generation. There's no science behind it. We also said that most of it is acquired, so there are mutations that happening at a cellular level.
You have a call.
Go right ahead, caller.
Caller, go right ahead.
Hey, good morning, Dr. Osborne.
Good morning.
Good morning to all of the panelists and the listeners. Now, it is said, I don't know if it's correctly, that women who have not had children are more likely to develop breast cancer. That's one. So would you recommend that they get children at an earlier age? That's two. The next thing, now my husband had colon cancer. And he used to go to the oncologist who used to come from the Virgin Islands. I forgot her name. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I'm not quite sure who that oncologist was.
She used to work out of Nevis.
No, I do not know that individual.
She used to service the Federation before they got one.
Okay.
Anyway, now they often have pains, eh? And what she said is that St. Kitts and Nevis do not provide or make available painkillers to deal with cancer pain. Has that improved?
Okay, thank you for your questions.
All right.
Okay, thank you so much. So she asked about having children. We know also, Jamsta, that nulliparity, meaning that you've never had a child. We spoke earlier about the estrogen, long exposure from the time you start seeing your menstrual cycle to the time of your menopause, without a break in that. That onslaught of estrogen increases your risk. All of these are risk factors. So yes, never having a child is a risk factor. Having a child earlier, starting having your children earlier, is also beneficial. Okay? So those are things that you want to keep in mind. Because every time a lady gets pregnant, that's 9 months without a menstrual cycle.
Yep.
And so my mother had how many children? 7 children. So you calculate that she had a period of not having exposed to all of those changes during the menstrual cycle. So it's important. And women who breastfeed, they say it's favorable. So all of these are factors. So you want to make sure, keep those in mind. Risk factor is hormone replacement treatment too. So sometimes a doctor is having to weigh the balance between giving someone, when you're going through menopause and your estrogen level has decreased and you're having all the symptoms. We spoke about menopause, the hot flashes, the dry vagina, you know. So in terms of giving them estrogen, but it has an increased risk of developing or exposing you to develop breast cancer. The caller spoke about her husband having colon cancer and spoke about pain management. Well, I cannot speak for 15, 20 years ago, but we've got quite a large variety of pain meds, morphine, pethidines, all different type of opioid drug that are potent. So we can manage some of these pains much better, okay, today.
Just letting our listeners know that, and especially the people listening online, if you can't call, you might be in a situation where you can't call, you can send a message to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And as it happens, we have a question, a comment, I guess. We could have the doctor comment on this. Jahili says, the ladies have to be aware of chemicals in products such as a roll-on, where a lot of such has aluminum in them. And she says a lot of these illnesses are derived from the food being consumed. What do you say to that?
Okay, so there's several parts there. Remember, we spoke about myths, Jamsta. And we said that antiperspirant persons had it that causes breast cancer. There's no evidence that does. We spoke about pesticides and lawn killers and stuff as myths. There's no evidence of that, and these things have been well studied. Speaking to diet, though, we know that a diet rich in fruits and vegetables, calcium, getting all your natural elements of vitamins and stuff is always healthy for every aspect of wellness. We know that processed food that is high in saturated fats, okay, they can put you at risk, okay, so we always encourage a healthy diet. So diet has a factor to play. Obesity as well, too. We know that obesity, we could always put it there in most risk factors that can lead to or contribute to one developing or having breast cancer. Alcohol, consuming large quantity of alcohol, especially in females, can put you more at risk. So there are several different risk factors, and they combine. Sometimes a person can develop a breast cancer and hardly have any of these risk factors.
Okay, caller, go ahead. You're live on a weekly dose.
Yeah, it's me again.
Okay.
Now, why it is recommended that you have pap smear? Not pap smear. You know what I mean?
Mammograms?
Breast.
Yes.
Mammogram.
Okay.
It has been said that often the result is false. You could get false positive. And the frequency of the radiation can have an effect on your body. Explain that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for your question. So we're speaking about false negative and false positive. There's some studies that speak about it, that sometimes women will have some abnormality seen on their mammogram, and it brings concern to the physician, leading to further studies. You could have an MRI of the breast, because that is can be done too, and other studies. Also, it can lead to biopsies when ultimately turn out to be it was a false concern. but it's still always best if there is a concern to investigate it and put it at
As soon
ease,
as possible,
okay?
yeah.
The importance of the mammogram, we keep emphasizing, is to see early changes within the breast. Those are the microcalcification changes. And once a lady gets a mammogram yearly, the doctor can look back and make comparisons. So if there's any abnormal changes, they can be addressed. But there are false positive, but we're happy ultimately that it turns out to be that it was negative. But we don't want to understudy, and then we have women presenting with late stage breast cancer.
How does a false positive occur though?
So this is how we term it in medicine, meaning that you see something suspicious on the mammogram. Okay, and then the radiologist would point it out to the surgeon, and then a biopsy may be done because you're concerned about how that specific area appears, and then a woman can have different types of biopsy. So then, if the biopsy ultimately is done and turn out that it's normal tissue, that would be a false suspicion of positivity. Okay.
I have a question. Let's say we get a false positive, right? How does one put the patient's mind at ease? Because we know sometimes as soon as we hear we're sick, we start overthinking, losing weight, etc., etc.
So then that is why it's done pretty quickly. You've
Good
got
question.
I like that question.
I was wondering about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so you have a suspicious mammogram. Remember, we're going to say suspicious. Something looks abnormal, and you say, hey, wait a minute, we need to do more studies. In a first world center, you can get an MRI of the breast that can give you more detail. And once you see that MRI of the breast, the radiologist, which is the expert at looking at these, would say, no, that is nothing. And so you clear up the lady's mind almost immediately by doing that. And so you put her at ease. If sometime you look at the MRI now of the breast and you're still a bit concerned, then you may say, let us do a biopsy to help put us at ease. Of course, during that time, she's waiting, she's worried, okay? But you ultimately want to get to the point where you can reassure her that this was absolutely nothing, okay?
Okay. In the period that she's waiting and she's worried, are we in our little federation, I'm going to use us, equipped? Do we provide counseling, et cetera, for the time that she's waiting? Like, to literally, because you know, as women, we worry plenty. To, like, literally put her mind, like, okay, they're getting in stages, you don't need to worry, just relax. Do we have the counseling available for?
Well, the counseling is available, but in that week period, to be honest, typically you're not going to have a counsel at that moment. I know in a setting you would ideally like it, but even in an international area, the woman is sent home, and of course she has some sense of worry, but not oftentimes you're going to be able to get in to see a counselor during those 2-3 days when you're waiting for your biopsy result or waiting to see what the further studies like the MRI shows, okay?
Okay, fair enough. I just want to know for the ladies, you know, that maybe listening.
I know sometimes a person would have done a procedure with us, and we do surgeries on Thursday, and the person is following up on the Friday, and then they're so scared before they come in, and then I try to put them at ease, and they tell me, Doc, I was worried all night, thinking the worst case scenario and stuff. So we try to, sometimes after the procedure, the person may be groggy and they may not remember, but you try to reassure them everything went well, there is nothing there to worry about. But naturally, as humans, we worry.
Yeah, we worry.
Okay, two quick things. Jahili pushes back. She says aluminum is proven to be a toxic and cancer-causing chemical. So there. No, I added that part. Well, so what do you say to
that? So that's why I said, okay, I always, because I do not plan to fearmonger anyone, Jamsta. What I follow is the science, and the science tells me that there is no direct evidence of the antiperspirant and stuff. Persons are leaning towards more natural stuff because a lot of these chemicals can have effect and stuff. Remember, when we're talking about breast cancer, and it's different to sometimes like lung cancer, you have a more direct cause. You're talking about risk factors, and a combination of them can predispose you, but there is no direct evidence that one thing or the other.
Caller, go ahead. You're live on Daily Dose.
It's me again.
Okay.
You spoke about the 5-year
survival
rate. Now, if somebody is close to the end, would you say four stage? Because now you don't have 5. Would you still recommend they do some of these treatments that are so drastic?
Okay, I like that question. I really do.
That's one. You didn't answer about the frequency of the radiation on the body. Because we said get one every year.
Okay.
How many? How often? How long?
Okay, alrighty. Good question. So she asks about the frequency of radiation. Those are low dose radiation, like just getting a chest x-ray, okay? Those are not considered risk factors. Very low dose. Okay, there's another caller.
Caller, go ahead. You're live on Daily Dose.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
And good morning, family. Good morning. What is Pet Sharon? Y'all mix me up.
Sharon.
Pet?
This is Sharon.
Sharon.
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, Ella.
No, yeah, how you doing? No, and it's also important to get that gene test.
Okay, uh-huh.
That gene test is very important. Why? Because right now, my daughter, she's 39, just made 39. And just a couple weeks ago, she realized she feel a lump under her breast. And when she go and they did the mammogram. After the mammogram, you know, they're going to do a further test. She do have breast cancer. That is stage 2. They did the geno test, and it showed she had the gene for cancer, for the breast cancer and ovarian cancer, which is something that they ask you about your family history, which is, I realize, is something now that is attacking my family. Because it have my aunt, which I think your mom, that's what she died from, and other family member, a cousin of us, years ago died from ovarian cancer, and she died young. So now this is something that is now, I realize that is coming in our family. So that gene test is very important.
Okay, thanks,
Because that is why they ask you your family history. When we go to the doctor, they ask you, have anybody in your family ever have this, ever have that, ever have that? So you realize it's something that is, so that test is very important. Have a good day, guys.
Thank you for your contribution. And yeah, we're so sorry for that. My skin got goosebumps instantly when I heard that.
Okay, so let me try address a couple things here. Palliative care, the lady before her spoke about palliative care. Palliative care means that you've got stage 4 advanced cancer, and she asks, is it worth it essentially if you're going to take these treatments at the end? Because some of these treatments can be very aggressive and a lot of toxicity in these chemotherapy because you're trying to kill the bad cells and you kill good cells along with it. So ultimately, the family would be deciding, and the individual, what risk versus benefit and risk versus reward. Do you want to spend your last couple of weeks or months going on the aggressive treatment? Though the treatment can prolong the days, sometimes it can make the person so sick, so out of it that they're not enjoying. Some persons may choose, I'm going to leave this and enjoy my last couple of weeks to be healthy and well with my family. So in palliative care, that's where you're at the end stage, and everything is just supportive to make the person comfortable, maybe to just give you a couple more days, but we know that there's nothing that can cure the disease at this point. That is where that care comes in. And so the family would be informed, and they can make a decision if they want to proceed to continue with any kind of aggressive treatment. This young lady speaks about breast cancer and said that her daughter was tested positive for the gene. Okay, we do not do genetic testing, and that's all over, extremely expensive. And most breast cancer, we said, are sporadic. I'm repeating that again. And the gene is present in about up to 10% of all breast cancers. That is the BRCA1 and the BRCA2 gene that can predispose a person to developing breast cancer, almost 100%, and ovarian cancer. So you know that if you have breast cancer, if you have this gene, you will go on to develop breast cancer, almost certainly. We spoke about Angelina Jolie. Her mother died of ovarian cancer. She was positive for the gene, and she did a double mastectomy and stuff. Other persons have done that. Regarding this young lady who was on the phone, she's actually family of mine. She's my first cousin living in the USA. My mother died, but not of breast cancer. Okay. My mother died of ovarian cancer. We have a strong family history of breast cancer. There are a couple cousins and a couple other family members. That's why I'm so passionate about talking about this topic. Last year, I lost one of my cousins to breast cancer, and she was just 37. She was diagnosed at 30. We spoke about early diagnosis and persons who develop breast cancer very early. All right. She developed a lump in her breast, her right breast. She was 30. I remember I was not in the country. I was studying, and she called me and she told me that she had the lump and what she must do. And I was so frantic. Oh, you need to take treatment. And she was nervous. What should I do? And I'm like, no. You need to follow the doctor. You need to get it right because we need to address this quickly. And I was nervous for her as well, too. She had surgery. She had some treatment. She survived at least 7 years with the disease, but ultimately succumbed to disease last year, having stage 4 cancer that spread to her lungs. I did an x-ray for her a couple months prior, and I saw that CT scan showed that she had both of her lungs filled with advanced cancer. Very, very sad. Beautiful soul, and she kept smiling and was so happy and so positive, even right down to the end. So that's a sad family history. I had another cousin who I wasn't quite familiar with, but she was in the U.S. She died of breast cancer, so there must be some family history there. I've had several aunts and family members who passed away of different type of cancer. So remember, we spoke about early persons who present with early breast cancer in a younger age. They tend to be much more aggressive. So she had a triple negative breast cancer, very difficult to treat. And another thing I want to emphasize before we leave, because finance is important. We often don't speak about that, but with healthcare, we need to have health insurance. Yep. And I always encourage persons to ensure, once you're healthy now, get some sort of health insurance because you don't know when you're going to need it. My family, she didn't have health insurance, and she had a really difficult time. So at every turn, her treatment was delayed. So she didn't get the treatment that she needed in a timely manner. Okay? Because she didn't have the money to afford the chemotherapy. That was stopped at a certain point. She needed to do radiation therapy. We had to organize to get her over to Antigua. There was some delays in that. So at every turn, she had lots of delays because of finances. And once you're in a country, we speak about this all the time, with socioeconomic difficulties, you're at a greater risk. We know that breast cancer occurs more frequently in white or Caucasian persons. But we also know that when it occurs in Black, because of the socioeconomic lack, we have a higher death rate than our white counterparts because we have less access to healthcare and the best healthcare. If you do not have a good healthcare or healthcare at all, you're not going to get the top line drug, the first line drug, because you can't afford them. Some of these drugs are so expensive. So every month you have to pay $2,000-$3,000 out of pocket. Most persons won't be able to afford that. Hence, sometimes they then have to be placed on a second line drug or third line drug, which is not the best that they put. And so in that instant, they do not get the best care that they need because of finances. So those who are if you're in your 20s, if you're in early 20s, early 30s, and you're healthy, it's best to get some sort of health insurance so that you can address any health issue that comes up. So many of them.
I think in the interest of the public good, we have a call coming in. So I wanted to take it. Go ahead, caller.
Yes, Dr. Osborne, given what you just said, shouldn't the medical association think the government to institute the national health insurance plan? Because this thing has been delayed, and people dying because they can't afford, as you say. So since you all are up front, shouldn't you be lobbying the government to start national health insurance scheme? That's my question.
Okay. Well, it's going to be more than one individual or one group. It's going to be a collective effort as well, too. And all of these things are very expensive. and they need a lot of strategy behind it so that it can all work out. But it's important for every organization, the medical association, on all the other platforms in the federation to give their voice to something like that, so that every one of us on the island can be covered in some form or the other, so that we can access health care. But meanwhile, and in between time, if you're healthy and you're young, you can get a life insurance that is what, 80, 120, I don't know, but on the 200, not life, health insurance. Yeah. Once you're healthy and you start now, you can have a plan that that is affordable for you, but it's good to invest in that as early as you can, so you can have some medical insurance. Don't wait until there is a health crisis, because then because at that point you would be denied at that point. Because it would be pre-existing and stuff. So the earlier you have this, and a lot of times we have $200 or etc., whatever it costs, and we waste it. We party it away, and we do other things, but we've got to realize our health is important, so the onus is on us. Okay, so the government needs to support, but we also need to do our part in the interim. Right. We do now lovely here. Every time there's a show, we have a new outfit, so that money can be put into something that is important.
Productive.
Okay?
I have a question though before you go. You said Angelina Jolie mom had ovarian cancer.
Yeah,
but she ended up taking off her breast. What is the relation?
No, the daughter Angelina did a double mastectomy.
Yeah, yes, that's what I meant. So, what is the correlation between the two cancers? Why?
Because the risk factor was the BRCA gene. So it not only creates or causes breast cancer, it causes the ovarian cancer as well too. So especially there's two, BRCA1 and BRCA2. So it's BRCA1 gives you a high risk of developing both breast cancer, once I'm correct, and ovarian cancer. That is why she did that.
Okay, I just wanted to clear that up.
So she had multiple surgeries. So it was good talking to everybody.
Yeah, I enjoyed today.
And I hope people learn something. And it's always good to listen and to discuss and to have these debates. That is always important. But my final thing on this Breast Cancer Awareness Month is your mammogram is what we have to save us. Our screening mammography is going to be important. So let us not keep putting it off. Let us not keep saying that we don't want to do it, because once we have a tool in our hand, we need to use that tool. Okay? The same way it's important to get your screening pap smear. That's another tool that we have. Okay? So I encourage all our women, if you haven't had your mammogram, you need to get it done. Okay? Have a beautiful, beautiful day, everyone. Thank you. And be blessed.
And let them know where they can find you.
Where they can find me?
Before you leave,
Well, I work at the Joseph M. France General Hospital, and I also have an office here at B2 Sands Complex, 466-8080 or 465-4450. Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
And I think we had a great month, and I hope my goal has been achieved. Remember, my one objective is that we learn something. So I hope that everybody learned something.
We certainly did. We always do.
Yeah, every day.
Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you. You too.
And Weekly Dose returns Wednesday. Every Wednesday, in fact, with the good Dr. Natalie Osmond.
Wednesday.
We've got the Energy Unit.
Hi. Tuesday.
Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Oh, sorry, Tuesday.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry.
At 8:30 a.m.
Maybe,
Jamsta's having a day.
I'm overloaded with energy. My coffee is probably too strong. I don't know.
All right, Jamsta.
I have Energy Unit people behind me. Maybe they're, I don't know, maybe.
Oh, the aura. Okay.
My synapses are overfiring or something.
Okay. We forgive you.
We forgive you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Okay.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
The family fun event of the year is back. On Saturday, November 9th, the St. Kitts Marriott Golf Course comes alive for the 13th annual Family Walk, Run, and 8 of the St. Christopher Children's Home. Join us at 3 p.m. to collect your coveted event shirt and get ready to run and walk at 4 p.m. sharp. Adults are $50. Children 6 to 12 years old are $25. Admission includes an event shirt, barbecue lunch served by the St. Kitts Marriott Resort, face painting, and a kids zone powered by Lucid SKN. Tickets are available at Royal Beach Casino, Harper's Office Depot, Four Ways Restaurant and Bar in the Circus, and online at events.jad.cash. Enter the highly anticipated raffle, which includes chances to win hotel stays, a 55-inch LG TV, and more. Let's run and walk for a cause. See you on Saturday, November 9th.
Hey, that's the great Bruce Scarrett. The late Bruce Scarrett. Something called Coco's Dream. Now, we got coming up in about 5 minutes. We've got two members from the Energy Unit. They're going to be celebrating Energy Week, so we're going to find out exactly when that is. I got a text. I guess we can do this later on. I got a text concerning the mathematician girls from a friend. And he was telling me that, I didn't know this, Kay. He was telling me that, let's see, where is it? Looking for it. Oh, yeah. On subject of math, we have a state scholar who's a professor at Harvard. He's one of the best known mathematicians. He's from McKnight. A majority of Kittitians are fairly above average for math. We just never prioritize that in education. So I'm going to try and have him call later on if possible. Yeah.
Somebody commented on Matt on the YouTube wall. I don't know if you saw it as well. I'm pulling it up here, but everything takes some time. My thing's just buffering. I don't know what's happening. But that person said, I know some students who said they failed math before they even took the test. It's a mindset thing. And that same individual said math was easy and fun for me. And they alluded, I guess, to the point of the caller that says his favorite subject was math and recess. Good point, caller. So it's really a mindset, because once I didn't pass it, I went back and I do it, and I went with the mindset that I have to pass it this time because it's general. I'm not gonna do this a third time, and I did put my mind to it and I passed. So I have my general math. So it's all about mindset and to me the fear that's instilled in you when you don't pass math, because every job you apply for, you almost hear you have to have math and English, and when you don't have the two, I don't know, for me I feel defeated, like, oh my gosh, if I don't have maths then I won't get a job. So yeah, right after I failed it in fifth form, I went back immediately and did it and passed it and the next year.
My friend also told me about a statistician. Mm-hmm. His name is Karim Carr, who, as he puts it, has a bigger following than the Prime Minister. Scary.
Oh, that's the scholar from St. Kitts?
No, this is a different person.
And with Kittitian roots as well?
Yeah, from St. Kitts, yeah.
Okay, good.
And actually, that whole thing about majority of Kittitians not being that bad, it's actually true, because I went to school with some guys who, all of them, How much
percent then, to the fact of the earlier caller, this person commenting and yourself, how much percent of our federation do you think like math and excel at the said subject?
I'm surprised at how many people I know who love math and are good at math.
50, 40.
But yeah, I mean,
Since our pass rate is
then
decreasing every year, and that's my concern. What does that tell us? Is that
I just think
the young people just give up?
I can only go on my experience in high school. I think part of the problem is the way it's taught. I think if the math was rendered in a more real world, relatable way, I think people, because listen, I failed math in high school. I went to college and I had to pass. In fact, I failed the first semester. Had to retake that while I started the second, and I passed.
Okay.
And because
and it was
then
your mindset, because you realized
yes,
you have
because
to get
then
it to
I realized,
proceed on.
oh, this is what this is for. Because, but you know, the way they taught it, it's like what the hell am I going to do with algebra? Because algebra seems like learning
we
Latin.
Don't use that,
yeah,
you know,
it's like learning Latin.
You're
Like, why do I need to know this?
Because what do we?
Yes.
What are me and you using the Pythagoras theorem for at
Exactly.
this current moment? So it's like we don't see the. I would say, let me speak for myself. I don't see the benefits of most of the topics in math, but I can see the others because
we're generating a lot of calls. It's 9:14, so I think we might have to continue this conversation after we speak
the energy unit.
I have to speak with those energetic people sitting behind me.
Okay.
We're gonna go to a quick break. No, not a break exactly. We can keep chatting, but we're gonna have my the energy bunnies go around. You guys can go around here. You guys have a lot of names. Wow. Yeah, so the energy unit, they're here to discuss their energy month actually. So we're going to be talking about that just now. Hey, that's the dearly departed Bruce Garrett, Coco's Dream, Bruce Garrett and the Lime Eagle Project. And it's time to get down with the Energy Bunnies. They got their Energy Month to talk about. Good morning, guys. What's up?
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome.
Thanks.
And we got Bertil, and want to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Denasia Frank. I'm the energy officer.
Okay. Energy officer. I mean, wow, see? so all my names weren't really that far off. The guy's the energy officer. I mean, what else? Okay, so tell us about your sojourn here. I know there's a big reason.
Okay. It's CARICOM Energy Month, and every November, the month of November is observed as CARICOM Energy Month, where we take the opportunity to inform the public about what is happening in the energy industry, the changes and the projects and so forth that would be affecting their lives. And we deal with such things as energy efficiency and renewable energy. The theme for this year is Invest in Sustainable Energy, Accelerate the Transition. And the theme is stressing the fact that if we want to address many of the issues associated with renewable energy, such as climate change, the insecurity of our energy supply, the pollution from our energy supply, we have to invest in sustainable energy solutions, put money into it. This year, we also want to stress the importance of women and youth with respect to energy. You know, women head most of our household, and informing them, educating them would have an impact on energy usage in household. The youth, if we educate them now, they are the future, who would be our energy professionals and our energy consumers. One other thing that we also want to stress this year is the conversion of our end use, our equipment, to electricity instead. For example, motor vehicles, right now they run on gasoline, diesel. We would want to convert them to electric vehicles. Then we have our cooking. Number of persons cook on LPG. We would like more people to start cooking on electric stoves. So that's in essence what we are stressing on this year. We also have a program of activities which I would ask the Nazir to speak on and address.
Yes, good morning again. This year we have a good bit of activities for Energy Month. The minister opens up with an address to the nation in the upcoming days, so look out for that. The Energy Unit is going to be attending the St. Peter's Anglican Church to open our celebrations in St. Kitts. Then we have, like I said, a few activities. We have on next week, Friday, which is an event I'm excited about. We call it Rough Dry Friday.
Rough
Dry Friday.
Oh, so you don't iron your clothes?
You don't iron your clothes.
Okay.
It's a CARICOM event. So, you know, in the Southern Islands, they had this thing called Shifudende Day where you do the same concept, you don't iron your clothes. So we said we'll adopt that. We're going to have a day where you don't iron your clothes. It's supposed to promote energy conservation.
So you're going to make sure the clothes have static electricity in them? Just playing.
No electricity. No heat, nothing. So you come with your clothes literally rough dry.
So everybody's going to come to work at Skellig rough dry?
Want to. Not Skellig, everybody. We want the entire country, the entire federation.
But how that going to look?
Well, yes, it's a cultural thing. You know, you don't want to come out your house with your clothes, you know, rough dry. But we want to show that, you know, the importance of the electricity. So
okay, understood.
Next week, Friday the 8th, we want everybody to come to work with their clothes rough dry for Rough Dry Friday. And, you know, take a picture and post it on social media, hashtag Rough Dry Friday. So make it a lively thing, you know. Because we want to show that the importance of energy. So that's next week, Friday. We also have a few competitions. We have one major competition. It's an energy mascot design competition. It's for children between age 7 to 19. So what we want is for the youth to, you know, show their artistic skills and design something that the energy unit can actually use for the promotions moving forward. So it's open to all children, all residents, 7 to 19. And the online registration, there's an online registration, and it's on our website, energyunit.gov.kn. So you can go on the website and get the sign-up form, dry design, and submit it online.
Okay.
And judging starts next week. So the deadline for registration, for submission, is the 4th, which is next week, Monday.
Oh.
Yeah, we started a while back, so we want to close it off next week, Monday.
Okay.
And then there's an online judging. So that starts on the same Rough Dry Friday, the 8th of November. So you will have an opportunity to see all the designs, or the finalists rather, and you vote on which one you think is your favorite.
Okay.
And that goes on for a week. So on the 15th, we close off online judging, and then we announce the winner at the end of the month.
Okay.
We are also going to have our staple event, the Energy Fair, which is going to be on the 15th of November. That's in the Independence Square. We're going to have a social media campaign called Unplug Me Week. So you want to, instead of, ironing, we want to have an entire week where we show people, the importance of unplugging and saving energy and stuff like that. So it's going to be a social media campaign from the 17th to the 23rd. During that week, we are going to be having a panel discussion on ZIZ. And then we're going to have a glow walk, an LED glow walk on the 23rd. That's also as an online registration if you're interested. We go in the streets. We're going to be walking from Greenlands to National Heroes Park. And it's a night walk, so that's at 7:30. So if you're interested, you can reach out to us. 467-1449 is our contact. And there's also an online registration for that on our website as well. That's on the 23rd.
Okay. Could you mention the website once again for someone who may have just joined?
Our website is energyunits.gov.kn.
Okay, energyunit.gov.kn. Okay. I was making some points while Mr. Berta was speaking, and he mentioned sustainable energy solutions. And I want for somebody that's listening that may not understand, what are some of these solutions?
The first one is a shift to renewable energy.
Okay.
Renewable energy, they are non-polluting, they don't give off greenhouse gases, they last forever, the sun will always shine, the wind will always blow, as opposed to fossil fuel where there is a fixed amount actually. We don't know how much is there, but there's a fixed amount.
Okay.
And let me ask a question. In terms of when we start rolling out solar power, I imagine there'll be storage as well, right? And I mean, I know that would be very expensive, but storage is one of the things that would be a component as well.
Yes. The nature of solar power is that it fluctuates, it's intermittent, and so to deal with that, it would need storage. The question is where and who would be responsible for the storage. The individual who put solar on his rooftop, it may be too expensive for him to additionally put storage there. Some people may be able to afford it. But then you have the utility who could put in a large battery, for example, and the storage is done there to address the intermittency of the solar energy.
Is that what you refer to as conversion of end use?
Not really.
Okay.
The end use is converting our vehicle, using electric vehicles instead of the gasoline vehicles and diesel vehicles that we use, and cooking and using an electric stove as
instead of a gas stove.
stove.
Okay, I have a question about those vehicles when we come back. Caller, go ahead. You're live on Island T.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning again.
Yes, I was quite interested in what you said about converting to electric cookers instead of the LPG. But when you have an unreliable source of electricity, it could create havoc, you know. And have you done comparative costing? And another thing, someone was recommending to me that I should buy a gas dryer, clothes dryer.
Yeah.
Instead of electricity?
Instead of electricity, yeah. Somebody told me that too because they said my bill is going to be high.
So, have you done any comparative study on it? Because I've been saying billboy, I suppose. Because if we're planning or we're trying to educate people away from the LPG, then whatever we bring in must be as close as or even less than. So could you respond to that?
Well, for one, there are health concerns with respect to cooking on gas. The fumes from the gas, they are polluting, they're not healthy. So it's healthier for you to cook on an electric stove than on a gas stove.
But it's also healthier for Skellett's bottom line, isn't it? I mean, because
no matter what you would be spending, the question is whether or not it would be more expensive for you. I know, for example, for electric vehicle, it's cheaper to charge an electric vehicle than to put gasoline
Gas in it.
in the electric vehicle.
You mentioned the
I have not done anything for the electric stove. But over the period of time, as we shift to renewable energy, what you would be consuming on an electric stove would be renewable energy and would be good for the environment and to climate change overall.
Because in my mind, we have a call coming in, but in my mind, it seems like cooking with electric stoves adds really makes spike your bill, right? I mean, that's how it seems to me. Hi, go ahead.
Because most people are going to be concerned about costs. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, but electric stove, as Caribbean people, we cook almost every day. Do he know how high the people bill will be? Electric stove will send the bill to the roof.
So
you can't tell electric stove been sinking. We cook every day. I have an electric stove up here in America, and let me tell you, sometimes when I look at my bill, sometimes look me, I feel like I'm running a restaurant, and I'm not running a restaurant. Sometimes I have to ask the electric company, what am I burning? I only have an electric stove.
Wow.
And I bake and sell my stuff. Sometimes I cook here, sometimes I bake a bit. But my electric to the roof, can you imagine and think when we cook every day? Now, man, the people will be suffering more. You have a good day.
Thank you for your contribution, caller.
It's cheaper.
Oh, boy.
It is a concern, but what I would say is that a large percentage of persons in St. Kitts already cook on electric
transferred.
stove,
Okay.
thing. And
But then I'm assuming
as I said, I haven't done the analysis,
Mm-hmm.
but it probably would offset what you use, what you would have spent for the LPG.
Because
Even though at the present you would appreciate that both of them, electricity is subsidized and the LPG.
Because I was just going to ask if we want to move to this sustainable energy, especially with the electric stove, are there going to be subsidies to help us? Because we had to run those ACs during the summer. Some of us have very high bills. I won't point at myself. But yeah, caller, go ahead. You're live on Island T.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
This is the problem with that. Everybody wants to introduce things and don't do no studies on them. I mean, I know people who had apartments and so to rent, and when they first started, they said, oh, these are foreign people. They don't want nobody using gas stove in their apartment. I know the people, and I said to them, no, it's not going to work. People around here, it's cheaper to use gas stove than electrical stove. It's just like people got air conditioning in the house. Yes, there's a lot more people got air conditioning, yes, but then how often they run them?
Mm-hmm.
They probably do it in the night time when they're home for a few hours. And then at the end of the month, you look at the electricity bill, they can't believe. So I don't know how these people that just come and want to implement things and don't do no studies on them. Now, you talk about the gas stove with got to electricity. If they complain about the environment, why they don't say, what you call it, natural gas then? Because that's what most people outside in the outer world use, because they claim that it's cleaner than the LPG. So why not recommend natural gas instead of electric stove if they're trying to get away from all these things? And then another thing again, if you're going to go to electric stove, like Jamsta said, like bottom line going to be a whole lot better because you're going to have more people burning more energy. So in the end, they're still going to be polluting the atmosphere more because the generator is going to be putting out a lot more power and more carbon in the atmosphere or whatever. So I don't understand how these people get to come up with these ideas. That's all I have to say for today.
Okay, thank you for your contribution, caller.
On the power generation methods that your engines use, I know I had heard Congress and maybe even the minister before talk about moving to, I think I heard Jomo mention it, to moving to dual fuel. Yeah, do you guys have any of those yet?
No, but there's a project underway where Skelec will be installing some dual fuel generators. They would be able to run on diesel and also on natural gas.
Is natural gas cheaper than diesel?
At present and for the past several years, it has been cheaper.
Okay, so but why is it taking so long to get these things off the ground? I mean, because clearly we need a mix. Clearly we need a mix of energy generation methods, right? But the sunshine is free. I would have thought that people would have jumped on that and had at least one solar plant up. I really don't understand. I'm not bashing you guys. I'm just, kind of thinking out loud. I just don't understand it. The sunlight is free. The wind is free. And it seems that they're just doubling down on dirty power generation. Just saying. Go ahead.
The sunlight is free and the wind is free, yes. But the equipment, the solar panels, inverters, wind turbines,
not free.
They're not free. And they, for unit of output, they're generally, the capital cost is generally much higher.
But you know what I mean? Come on.
Listen, Bertrand has to defend his side of the fence.
I'm not defending. I'm just trying to put the facts.
Okay.
That's why the theme for this year is invest in sustainable energy, because it takes investment, some heavy investment to get into those.
So who invests in it? We the people, or we expect the government to? Okay, everybody.
So can you tell us a little bit about any concessionary framework that the government is intending to apply, given for say electric? I mean, I know it's probably not your bailiwick directly, but at least you can tell us about things like solar panels, probably, and battery systems and so on. Do you know of any plans to perhaps ease the shock of what this kind of stuff is going to cost? And even electric cars, if you happen to know anything about that. And the charging systems and all that for that.
They already exist.
No, I mean in terms of the concessions and so on.
They already exist for solar panels and batteries, anything associated with solar panel, wind turbines. They're duty-free at the moment, and they have been so since about 2012.
Okay.
For electric vehicles, they're under consideration.
Okay, well, what's taking so long?
The appropriate studies and so forth has to be done. The policies have to be put in place and the regulations.
Okay. Speaking of studies, have you guys done any modeling on what would happen, for example, if you have, let's say, the thing we were talking about earlier, let's say you had half the population, 60% of the population cooking with electricity, and looking at some other scenarios that would pertain to sustainable energy generation. You guys doing any kind of workups like that to see, to kind of get an idea of what to expect?
Yes, some modeling is ongoing with respect to electric vehicles. Some work was done previously, but it wasn't completed. Well, it was an overall a bigger study, but part of it was what would happen if they switched to all of these end use, including electric stove. That hasn't been completed as yet.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, a lot of studies are being ongoing right now, so we haven't finalized a lot of them as yet.
Okay. Can you tell us, there were rumors, actually there's a comment here that kind of alludes to that. There were rumors that the government was planning to reinstate surcharges for residential. Can you tell us whether that's true or not?
I have no knowledge of that.
You have no knowledge of that. Okay.
No, I don't think it was residential.
Okay. I know they've done it for commercial, but there was speculation that perhaps there might be
not residential. No.
Okay, all right, that's good to know. So, anything else you guys want to touch? Maybe you want to run through your week of activities again.
Yes, we go through the activities again.
Yeah, so the month of activities starts on Friday. So we're going to be hearing from the minister this week. We are going to be attending church on Sunday, this coming Sunday. That's the energy unit. Next week, Friday, the 8th. Rough dry Friday. I want to see people in their rough dry clothes next week, Friday. Please, I'm begging you. Because I'm going to be in mine. I don't want to be alone.
You're going to see me in mine. Don't worry.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I like that idea.
Yeah, the 15th, we are going to have the energy fair, our usual energy fair in the square. I must say that this year, we actually do not have any bulbs. So this year is going to be a bit different. But we still want the public to come out. So there's not going to be a bulb drive this year at the energy fair. But we want people to come out to the energy fair to see what's actually going on in the country and get your questions answered. That's on the 15th. The 17th to the 23rd is on Plug Me Week. So look out on social media for our posts. We also have a Facebook page as well, the Energy Unit, St. Kitts Energy Unit, St. Kitts Nevis Energy Unit.
Okay.
There's a Facebook page. You can check us out on that as well. We're going to have a panel discussion during that week on the Thursday, the 21st. That's at 8:30. And then on the Saturday, that same week, the 23rd, we have the LED glow walk. And again, if you want to register, you can go on our website, energyunit.gov.kn, to get the forms and everything. And then at the end of the month, we're going to launch our energy mascot competition. And I'm appealing to the public, if you know any children with any artistic skills between the ages of 7 to 19, let them do a drawing, a simple drawing, maybe a front and a back view of a character that they want to see us use as our energy mascot, and submit it online.
So they don't have to build, because I was thinking they have to like build a little physical.
Oh, no, just a drawing.
Just a drawing.
With a drawing.
Okay, and then you make it your own.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll do all the back end work and make it realistic and stuff.
Okay. All right.
Okay, let's take one last call for the road. Caller, go right ahead.
Hi, good morning, Jamsta.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And good morning, Kortensia, and to your esteemed guests there at Skelet.
Yeah, my energetic guests.
Recognize a few voices. I just tuned in and I caught where the conversation is going. And Jamsta, you had promised to bring in Skelet, or rather, the Minister of Energy, Mr. Maynard. I did heard you alluded to that. But albeit members of Skelet are there and they were not able to suffice some of the questions that might be posed to them, but I'll try nonetheless. Whether it's a rumor or not, it was said or it was alleged that there was some arrangement to receive monies in kind or otherwise to do with the Christoph Harbor, because the previous administration had made arrangements to really collect monies or otherwise in terms of assets, for instance, the land. How far, what is the development in terms of having a settlement of that matter with the Christoph Harbor development over at the Southeast Peninsula? Because I know they're not in a vacuum. There would be arrangement to collect the money. I myself was sat as a member of the board of Skelec back in 2017, 2018, and the like. We would have sat and we would have come up with amicable ways to receive the monies that was owed to Skelec, not just Christoph Harbor, but the enormity of Christoph Harbor raised concern for alarm in the sense. And so it was agreed on that the settlement may not be in monetary contribution, but the settlement might be in terms of an asset, land, per se. Mr. Bartel, have you have any information that you can share with the public?
No, none that is outside of the scope of the energy unit.
Arrangement?
That is outside the scope of the energy unit, which I am head. So there's no information on that for me to share.
Yes, I just want to make it very clear that the energy unit is separate from Skelec. We are a separate entity from Skelec. We are within the same ministry, but Skelec is the utility and we are the ministry. So we represent the ministry.
So we have to get
yeah.
Skelec itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for clearing that up. Okay, I'll give you guys the last word. It's 9:41.
We just like to ask you to support us for Energy Month, support the public activities that we would have, like the mascot design, the energy fair, listen to the panel discussion and attend the glow walk, participate in the Unplug Me Week, and get yourself educated about what is happening in the energy industry. It affects your life.
So the Unplug Me Week is to say unplug your electronics when you're not using them?
Yes.
But I always thought unplugging and plugging in costs you more. That's not true, right?
No.
All right.
It would be energy efficiency tips. We will be giving the public energy efficiency tips during that week.
Oh,
would you consider giving us like a day of electricity free?
Oh,
we don't represent Skelec.
Oh, well, you can lobby.
Frank is ready for you.
You can lobby for us. You can lobby. You can.
Oh boy.
I would love something like that as well. But I can't speak on behalf of Skelec, unfortunately.
Oh
but
boy.
Yes, I would like to thank the public as well for the engagement, because we do value the feedback that we get and the engagement that we get with the public. It is very useful information always. So we thank the public for having the conversations with us this morning. And I will encourage everyone to participate in the activities this upcoming month, and especially the Rough Dry Friday.
Yeah.
I want to stress on that, and I want to stress on the mascot design competition, because we want to get some nice mascots, so we have a nice competition over the course of that week.
An incentive for that competition?
There's a cash prize. There's a cash prize of $1,000 for the
Okay.
person that wins.
Okay, so youths, you heard that, and
Yes.
and to the teenagers, because it's 7 to 19, participate and win yourselves some cash.
Just in time for Carnival, that's correct.
Oh, Jesus, don't let him give it away so quick now. Let him put it and let it gain
December
some.
is coming up. You had to buy your gift. So $1,000 in your hand.
To give it back.
December. Yes.
Oh, boy. All right.
It's good for the economy.
All right. You win. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming in and enlightening us on your month of activities for Energy Month, which begins next month. And folks, as he says, next Friday, we all have to look rough. Employers, we implore you to encourage your team to participate. And I know for those folks who don't like ironing, they'll enjoy that day.
Amen.
Rough Dry Friday.
That's me. I'm at the top of the list.
You never look rough, though. I'm going to show you what rough means next week, Friday.
Yeah, because I haven't pulled out my linen shirts yet. That's why.
Okay, sir. Okay.
No cheating.
All righty, gentlemen. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Hey kids, drink healthy.
Reduce sugar chubby with the same great taste. Lots of magic fruity flavors. Drink the more healthy way.
It tastes so yummy, chubby.
25% less sugar chubby. Be active, be healthy. Drink lots of chubby. Kicking football, playing cricket, having fun in the sun.
It's chubby.
Reduced sugar chubby keeps you cool and refreshed.
It tastes so yummy, chubby.
25% less sugar chubby. Jumping rope, running races, have fun.
It tastes so yummy, chubby.
Drink the more healthy way.
Fruta full of vitamin thing. Real fruit juice, no full of vitamin. Pop open the goodness, just dive in. Fruta every night, fruta every morning.
It's the amazing taste and quality in fruit juice you've come to know and love. Anytime, anywhere, any occasion. Fruta is your tastier, better, healthier choice.
We got the vibes, fruta. Real nice, fruta.
And for the families, remember to pick up the 1 liter.
So the energy unit website, I just got the website. They said they forgot to give us. It's energyunit.gov.kn. So you can go there and get more information. Energyunit.gov.kn. Yeah, 946.
What was the hot topic that we were on? I'm trying to remember.
The mathematics stuff?
Yeah, the mathematics.
Mm-hmm.
The mathematics. Yeah.
My friend wanted to call. Now would be a good time for you to call if you want.
Yes,
he wants to talk about the whole math thing. So I was telling you guys about a Kititian who actually teaches. He's a professor at Harvard University. Imagine. So just shows that.
What does it show?
We're not as bad. We're not as bad in math as we think we are. No. And I always tell people,
when you say we collective, as in the federation, or
because
some of us,
I think a lot of people just give themselves up to the notion that, we're not good in math. We're not good in math.
Well, I'm not good in math. We just throw our hands up. Yeah.
And say, I'm not good in math. I'm not even going to try.
Yeah.
When I just think it's a matter of, just like anywhere else, there are people who are not good in math and there are people who are good in math, and we are no different.
But as the caller says, he's not going to blame the teachers, he's not going to blame anybody, but it's just our prerogative to do what we need to do. But then it's how it's presented to us too. Do we have a caller?
Yeah, caller, go ahead.
Caller, go ahead. You're live on Allen T.
But yes, here is Miss Matt's teacher.
Hi, Miss Matt's
the truth
teacher.
Is the expectation by parents and children to do math is very, very low. The expectation. Now in Bassey High School, when I taught there, it was third, form, fourth, fifth, and sixth.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3. Students in 3G 1, 2, and 3 are expected to pass.
So what happened to classes?
Less expectation, so the children put out less.
Wow.
But I recall this fellow Nigel and his brother. But Jamsta, you know them. The farmer, the father used to work on the boat. Pemberton. Remember Nigel Pemberton?
I am.
Yeah.
He had a twin brother.
Yeah, I know who you mean.
Right. They were in different farms, you know. The brother must have was in lower down than Nigel. I think Nigel was in the top one, in the higher one. And he would come up because he wouldn't keep him under his brother. And he was performing as good as. And I thought down 3G 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I came across students in the very low farms who are good at maths. I mean good, as good as those who are in the thing, but the expectation, therefore often the teachers to me put in less energy. There was a case of 3G 4, where they said nobody ever passed maths. I couldn't understand that, because you only one down from 3G 3, and some of the students would have come from junior high in the same class. So sometimes it's low expectation, and another thing is the science teachers, let me tell you. Especially those who taught physics. I recall Thomas, forget Alvin Thomas. Remember Alvin?
Yeah.
From Greenland. He used to say, I learned this deductive, inductive, where you're going to teach the Pythagoras. You actually have this square. The children could see. You're doing these different shapes, and you set them out. Oh, Miss Henry, you're wasting time. The teachers in physics, all they do is give us the formula. Now, when you are teaching students, and all you do is give them the formula, and they don't even know how you derive it. You understand? The way math is taught. So the children, formula, I'm going to give you the formula. You do better when you understand the practicality, even the Pythagoras. People who do landscaping, surveying. That's what they use, you know. I used to try to demonstrate that. They do. But we got the mindset, well, math's too hard. Lack of effort, but tell you the truth, when they end up in a university, just CFBC too, all of a sudden they understand that you better get maths.
Yeah.
Even to go and to do early childhood education in CFBC, you're required to have maths, science, and either history or social studies. All you were thinking, well, we just going in early childhood and A-bit. Another thing also, to get into CFBC programs, you have to do maths, and all of those who are running from it, they end up having to do additional maths, A-level maths. So when you're paying no attention, and, well, I got to pass the maths. So sometimes the children themselves, they need a change, maybe of environment. Somebody told me they went to do economics. But anybody who knows about economics, you better have at least A-level maths, you know. You better do maths. Otherwise, you want to do like the rest of them, run and do psychology and do history and sociology. So some of the things that you want to do require maths. Maths required now in almost everything. But it's a mindset. And some of the teachers are insecure. You know, they don't feel confident. Remember Desmond Stephen? Mr. Stephen, remember Mr. Stevens?
No, Mr. Stevens that does maths?
He was the head of the maths department.
Yeah, that's what I was speaking about. He's who I passed maths under when after I failed in high school, I went to him. He's very good.
You know, so, well, I can't be like that. Somebody used to say, send me all the maths teachers that ain't good.
Oh, not nice.
They don't understand how we could like it, that is it. I used to enjoy it. You send me all maths teachers that ain't good.
Oh, wow. So the fight down for math is not just now. It's been can I say from generation to generation thing?
Brainwash.
We brainwash. Okay.
Well, I just think.
We brainwash into believing that
we're not good at
math's
it.
too hard and I don't need it.
No.
It's just that if you brainwash yourself, as you said,
Yeah.
and Jamsta said, if you reach a situation where you have to pass, I bet you pass.
Yep. And I passed
you pass.
because I realized I needed it, and I was like,
it's
I'm
a
not doing
mindset.
general twice. It's hard
I'm
as it
telling
is
you.
enough. Yeah. So I passed it in the first go.
Because you set your mind, I have to
Yeah.
pass it.
Yep.
But you ain't,
Mindset.
Well, me pass it, I could get 11. You got 11 and not even one match thing.
Oh boy.
You're making joke. All right then. So we have to change our mindset.
Yeah. It's all about the mindset. Thank you for your contribution as usual.
Yeah. Okay. We have a street notice here. We wanted to give the listeners concerning temporary parking restrictions on Taylor's Range. General public is hereby informed that due to ongoing road resurfacing works on the F.T. Williams Highway between the airport and Taylor's roundabout, traffic flow along this route will be restricted during daytime hours. Consequently, there has been a significant increase in traffic volume on Taylor's Range. To accommodate this surge in traffic and ensure a smooth flow, motorists are advised to refrain from parking along Taylor's Range between the hours of 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. daily. This temporary measure is essential to alleviate congestion and promote safety along this heavily trafficked route. These restrictions will remain in place until the highway resurfacing is completed. Further updates will be provided as necessary. Yeah. So if everyone can cooperate, it'll make things a lot better. I remember actually on Friday I was driving, right? Somewhere I was going.
Before you
go ahead.
You do that. Is this on the main road that houses the Olympic House? Yeah,
Right
because
there.
yesterday we were trying to get to my mom's, and
someone was parked.
one blue car was there, and it just impeded everybody. And you know, when people want to go, the ones that are, is it coming down or coming up? They were not letting you pass. Somebody had the little heart and they allowed you through, but you had to wait behind that little blue car. I think it's a Chrysler?
Yes, Friday afternoon after I left work, I went to get the car. I was going somewhere, and I think I was going across Taylor's Range. And I noticed when I got there by just after the Seventh Adventist Manse, right?
Yep.
I'm like,
I'm
like, what's going on? Why is the traffic not moving?
Yep.
After about, I'm not lying, about 3-4 minutes, actually we got to drive. And then when I looked, there was a pickup parked there in front of the Brimson Hill house.
Yep.
I was like, why are people so inconsiderate? It's a pickup. I mean, you could have bumped the wall somewhere to make things a little better. This is the other thing.
They need to put up a quick sign.
Yes, a lot of people with high clearance vehicles, they don't take advantage of the fact that you have a high clearance vehicle, you have an SUV. If you know you're going to be causing traffic bottlenecks, bump the sidewalk or whatever. What's the point of having a high clearance vehicle if you're not going to make things easy for other motorists, right?
Yeah, but nobody should be parked there though.
Yeah,
On a
nobody should be
serious
parked
note.
there. Exactly.
It's a hold up, and it's not worth it. Because
Yeah.
everybody wants to get home, and it's not everybody that's gonna stop.
Yeah. So you sent us this thing about this is something I wanted to touch on quickly.
Yeah, somebody had said if we had talked about Trump this morning, they were gonna fall asleep. If we had only talked about Trump for the first 5 minutes,
So I guess
it
they're
was a
gonna fall
comment on
asleep now.
Facebook.
But
Well,
this
we're not
is-
talking about Trump. We're just
No.
talking about them burning the ballot boxes that may contain ballots for both parties, right?
Yeah. Except those states are mostly
Democratic states.
Yeah.
Wicked people.
And Oregon and Washington are big on mail-in ballots.
Yeah.
That most of the votes are mail-in ballots, so they're gonna have to send out. They're probably gonna have to send out new ballots. Terrible, huh?
Oh, so do you think it? Okay, you said it's going to affect mostly of the Democrat side.
But it will affect Republicans too. But it just shows you how messed up, how desperate these people are to not respect democracy. And
they're going to try everything
and foist their fascist mindset on other Americans.
But do you think
because they know they don't stand a chance if the playing field is level.
But they said the box are equipped with stuff. And when I heard they said it's equipped with things like to stop fires and stuff, I'd be like, wow, imagine they're thinking ahead or thinking
And
that
it still
somebody
happened.
would do
Wow.
that. I don't know if it was done before, because this is the first time I actually follow these things so closely. The fact that
that's crazy to me.
they have something to stop the fire in there, but it didn't work.
So
And that
100
person that's going to put their life at risk to do that, do they realize they're the only person that's going to go to jail?
And it seems that they do have pictures, surveillance pictures
Of a
so
vehicle, but
they're
not
gonna
a...
find, but they're gonna.
You think they
find-
have of a person too?
No, that vehicle. They'll find that soon. They have ways
Yeah,
of.
but they might mash that vehicle up now that they know their vehicle.
It could have been. It could have been a stolen vehicle. Yeah, because that's what some people do. If they know, maybe there's cameras. They say, okay,
Or what if somebody just staged the vehicle? How about that? Just to get somebody in trouble, or just to
No, but the video would probably would have shown them maybe lighting the fire as well. So
that
yeah.
person's got to be sick. I'm not fighting for any politician like that, because
But that's messed up.
that person ain't going to jail. None of them going to prison. I am the one going there for however long America decides to put me there. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I can't be that radical and believe in some earthly being so bad that I'm going to desecrate my character and my life for them. That's just madness. I can't. But to each his own.
Yeah. So so you said they don't want us to talk about Trump, huh?
No. And somebody says on the Facebook page comment as well that this is the last week before they fire both Kamala and Biden. Yeah, because it's a week away actually, because it's Tuesday and it's next Tuesday.
Yeah.
So they have a week before they fire
on Guy
them.
Fawkes Day. Yeah.
Oh boy. Listen, I just want it to become and done. I don't want any wars, because I heard if a certain person don't win, or if a certain person win, it's going to be this war. And I heard if a certain person don't win, because they're very passive, they're just going to take it, which is Democrats. But I don't want anything bad to happen, because it affects us. And I wish it didn't have to affect us.
I guess this is a figurative Rome burning. Rome is burning 2.0.
Imagine the big boss that most
with-
people look up to is behaving in this manner.
Yeah. Who would have thought that we'd see this kind of chaos and
I know.
and dysfunction
Oh my gosh.
in the
And
beacon
lawlessness.
the beacon
I
of
know.
democracy, right?
I
And
know.
and just flagrant fascist talk. I mean, that rally on Sunday was something else.
With Puerto Rico
And I'm being polite.
yeah. Oh, that's just rude, and nobody. And do you see how J.D. Vance brushes off all these things? Like he says, we basically saying that people take life too serious. But how are you gonna
And
disrespect
but this is the
Americans?
same
They're
person-
from Puerto Rico, but at the end of the day, they are Americans.
But this is the same person that was insulted by some innocuous thing. Kamala, one of her surrogates, may have said a few weeks
Just
ago.
recently, yep.
Oh, but
it only
no.
goes for one
Yeah.
side.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, I
hypocrite.
pray for America. I don't know that
Last
Jesus
night on
that they tried to
CNN
throw out the Constitution. They need to put him back there.
Last night on CNN, Abby Phillip ran somebody off the set.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
She had to be like, I'm not gonna have that kind of talk here. I couldn't. The funny thing is, I didn't even hear what the guy said because they were talking over each other. There's this guy that used to work on MSNBC, a British Arab guy. What's his name again? I always forget his. Ahmed something. I couldn't never remember.
Didn't he have a show on MSNBC?
Yes.
Okay,
that they
okay.
canceled
I think I know.
a few. Yeah. He was talking with
you
this
don't have a
Jewish
show
guy.
anymore?
No, he's about 5-6 months now. Yeah.
I didn't know, because
Yeah.
I don't watch those
So
things
he was
like
on,
that.
and him and this other guy that they had on last week, who I did find was kind of was saying some really caustic things last week. I was like, where did I find this guy? And I think he's Jewish, a Jewish Republican or something. And they told him we're going at it. So up to now, I don't even know something about Palestine, because you're gonna have an Arab and you have a Jew, and they're on the panel, and I didn't even hear what he said. Next thing I knew, Abby stopped everybody and said, I'm not going to accept this kind of talk.
Gotta go.
And then they went to the commercial, which came back when he was gone. And then,
Listen, it hurts me to see this water continues in Israel, and I see a lot of airlines have since ceased operation into this area, which is Israel. Yesterday, I was watching these two little Palestinian girls. Her sister is no much bigger than the other, and she's literally fetching her sister on her shoulder. Her sister has a cast on one foot. The poor child looks hungry, and I'm like, they really have to stop. When children, innocent children, become involved in this kind of thing, the instigators and the person that fight for their freedom, they really have to come to a conclusion and stop. I felt so hurt for that little girl, but to see she have her sister over her shoulder. I tell you, Jamsta, she's no much bigger than her sister, and it's just her and her sister against the world.
Imagine having
that broke my heart, literally.
Yeah. Imagine having to grow up overnight in war conditions like that.
Yeah,
you basically have to become an adult.
The two of them on on that road by themselves. Somebody stopped and gave them a drop, like to a populated area. I felt, listen, when I tell you my heart broke, it just instantly I wanted to tear up and all, because I just couldn't believe this is what's going on. The children are suffering. When will we stop? And then now I see North Korea sends 10,000 troops to Russia to continue to fight.
Yeah.
What's wrong with us?
Oh, so the Americans said that we're a little over time. The Americans
I know.
The Americans said that if North Korean troops show up in Ukraine, they're gonna lift all restrictions from the use of American weapons
and help
on the
Ukraine.
Meaning the Americans have had cold feet about allowing them to just do whatever they want with the weapons.
Allowing whom? Ukraine?
Ukraine.
Yeah.
Like, for example, let's say, launching a missile at, say, the Kremlin in Moscow. They've said if the North Koreans show up fighting, the Ukrainians are not going to have any issue. They can do whatever they want.
Because they're saying that the North Koreans are already moving in on Ukrainian territory.
This video of them.
What are we fighting for? Control of what? It doesn't belong to us. We were just given a moment to govern over these things, and this is how we behave. My gosh, Jesus is coming soon. That's all I'm going to say. I hope everybody have a wonderful day. I'm just tired of the infighting, the outfighting, the world fighting. I'm just tired of it. We need to stop. We need to stop. Folks, thank you for listening. It was our pleasure. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for your comments and your calls.
What she said.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Have a great Tuesday.
Oh, I've got this feeling